Welcome, brothers, to Spiritual Gems for this week, December 9th to 15th, 2024. We begin with the first question. This psalm is written in what style and likely for what reason? This psalm is written in an alphabetic acrostic style where each stanza corresponds to a successive letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and each line within a stanza begins with the same letter. This structure was likely chosen as a memory aid, making it easier to recall and meditate on the psalm's content. Additionally, the acrostic style reflects a sense of completeness, symbolizing the comprehensive nature of Jehovah's Word and its application to every aspect of life. It emphasizes the perfection and harmony of God's law, regulations, and commandments. Next question. What spiritual gems from this week's Bible reading would you like to share? Psalm 119, verse 1 through 3. These verses highlight the blessings of walking in harmony with Jehovah's laws. They teach us that true happiness comes from living a life of integrity and seeking Jehovah wholeheartedly. By following His ways and striving to obey His instructions, we align ourselves with His purpose, resulting in spiritual joy and inner peace. Psalm 119, verses 4 through 6. Jehovah's commands require careful obedience. These verses emphasize the importance of consistency in following His instructions. By keeping His statutes diligently, we gain confidence and avoid shame when reflecting on our lives. The lesson is clear. Meditating on and applying Jehovah's Word leads to a clean conscience. Psalm 119, 7 through 8. A heartfelt commitment to Jehovah brings joy. These verses remind us that praising Jehovah with sincerity involves learning His righteous judgments. Even if we falter, determination to remain faithful shows our trust in His forgiveness and steadfast love. Psalm 119, verses 9 to 11. These verses stress the need for young people to stay morally clean. By storing Jehovah's words in their hearts, they build a solid defense against wrongdoing. This lesson underscores the importance of Bible study and meditation to remain spiritually strong. Psalm 119, verses 12 through 14. Here, we learn to cherish Jehovah's regulations as a precious treasure. Expressing gratitude in prayer and finding joy in obeying His commands reflects a deep love for His guidance. The lesson is that true wealth lies in spiritual riches. Psalm 119, verses 15 to 16. Meditating on Jehovah's reminders strengthens our resolve to obey Him. These verses teach us to actively reflect on His Word and delight in His principles, ensuring that we never forget His laws. Psalm 119, 17 to 18. This passage reminds us to depend on Jehovah for spiritual insight. Praying for understanding allows us to grasp the wonderful things in His law. The lesson is to approach the Bible with humility and a desire to learn. Psalm 119, verses 19 to 20. As temporary residents on earth, we need Jehovah's guidance. These verses highlight the longing for His regulations and the realization that His commandments provide the direction we need in life. Psalm 119, verses 21 to 24. Jehovah's warnings protect us from pride and arrogance. These verses remind us to rely on His statutes even when faced with ridicule. Finding comfort in His reminders strengthens our faith during trials. Psalm 119, verses 25 to 27. These verses emphasize the need to turn to Jehovah when feeling downcast. By meditating on His works and sharing our concerns with Him, we gain spiritual renewal and insight into His ways. Psalm 119, verses 28 through 30. When overwhelmed, Jehovah's Word provides strength. This passage teaches us the importance of clinging to His regulations and choosing the path of faithfulness. Psalm 119, 31 to 32. These verses encourage us to hold fast to Jehovah's instructions and seek His help in overcoming any obstacles. The lesson is that His commandments free us to serve Him with zeal. Psalm 119, verses 33 to 35. This prayer for guidance shows the importance of wholeheartedly following Jehovah's way. By asking for understanding and delighting in His laws, we draw closer to Him. Psalm 119, verses 36 and 37. These verses warn against materialism and distractions. They teach us to focus on Jehovah's reminders rather than worthless pursuits, ensuring spiritual clarity and purpose. Psalm 119, verses 38 to 40. Here, we see the importance of trusting in Jehovah's promises. This passage teaches us to long for His righteous regulations and recognize the value of His instruction. Psalm 119, 41 to 44. Jehovah's loyal love and salvation inspire confidence. These verses remind us to trust in His word, even when faced with opposition, and to speak of His regulations boldly. Psalm 119, 45 to 48. True freedom comes from living according to Jehovah's commandments. These verses teach us the joy of declaring His reminders and meditating on His statutes with love. Psalm 119, 49 to 50. Jehovah's promises bring comfort in affliction. This passage reminds us that His word revives us and gives hope, even during challenging times. Psalm 119, 51 to 53. These verses highlight the importance of staying faithful despite mockery or injustice. Reflecting on Jehovah's regulations strengthens our determination to remain loyal. Psalm 119, 54 to 56. Jehovah's laws are like songs that comfort us throughout life. These verses teach us that by remembering His name and keeping His commandments, we find joy and a sense of belonging, no matter where we are.